Hello YouTubers, it is still 2Normal2 here, and I'm back with a video. So, about a few days ago, PlayStation made an announcement that enraged the community, the internet. And yeah, we have a right to be mad. See this disc? This disc of Persona 3? Take a good look at it right here. Wanna know why? That's right. Sony pretty much announced that they're not going to make any more discs for PS5 after 2028, and the internet is having a field day with them. Like, I've seen people get pissed off before, but this is a whole new level. Sony's response is, we're moving to a more digital future because we think consumers will benefit. No, they're not. People are not benefiting. Like, they think that this is the future, that it needs to happen now, and I'm like, people buy physical games because they want to own them, and plus, if it's a game they really like, they'll get the physical version, which is what I did with Persona 3 Reload when it came out. I didn't buy digital, I paid for a physical. I went to my Walmart and just bought one. As you can see here, I drew a picture of myself being being talked to by Nintendo here. Like, and Sony's in the background, which I did a horrible PlayStation logo. Just being like, give us your money. Like, the thing is, as soon as they made this announcement that they're not going to do any more physical games after 2028, the internet is just roasting them in the comments, boos, petitions even started to demand Sony. They're getting lawsuits, like, oh my god, this is, you cannot write this. Sony's been in this weird spot where they've been going slowly down. Like, when they announced Destiny 2's not getting anything else, people had a field day with that too. And they're like, you should play Marathon, it's better. No, it's not. We've tried it, we don't like it. Sony's always been in this bad position recently where they're making bad decisions. When Concord failed stupendously, I figured, you know what, maybe this is a learning opportunity. They learn nothing. They ignore fans, they make bad decisions, and now look, they announce no more physical games, and people are outraged. You know what's interesting? Nintendo actually responded because someone asked them, hey, you gonna do that too? And their response was, we are not going to stop producing physical games because we believe in what our customers want. It's good to hear Nintendo's not going to follow in Sony's footsteps because, well, yeah, their games can be $80. I'll say this. The Switch 2 games I have owned and I have seen that I'm considering getting look like they're worth the money. And to be fair, not all their Switch 2 games are going to be $80. Like, when you look at a Nintendo Switch 2 game, the base game, let's say it's $80 and the digital is $70. They want to give you options. That's why I drew Nintendo here, just putting their hand over me like saying, hey, you can own your games here. Don't worry, we understand. And I know what you're thinking, but 2Normal, they have that game keycard crap you have to download. And I'm like, once you download it, it's there. You can sell it, trade it, do whatever you want. I think this is the whole reason why people are just so angry, because in a digital world, you own nothing. People know that. And Sony finally did come out and with something, and honestly, I think they should have just stayed silent because they made themselves look worse. They're relying on the strategy that, okay, people are upset now, but they'll forget about it. I have some news for you, Sony. This isn't the 90s or the early 2000s. The internet's part of our lives. Heck, the internet ensures we don't forget. I'm going to go ahead and make a wild prediction right now, because I've heard people cancel their PlayStation subscriptions, and naturally people are going to go somewhere where you can own stuff, which is Nintendo right here. I got my Switch 2 last year, and I bought a lot of games for the Switch 2 so far, and I've been having a great time. Sony, I just haven't been having fun with the games I've bought for them recently. Like, what happened? Sony used to be the go-to studio for games, but now it is becoming... Honestly, I just don't think it's going to survive anymore. Because Sony is arrogant. They think people are... us consumers are beneath them. I work in a restaurant, and the one thing I never do is make my customers angry. I want my customers to come in and have a good time, because having a good time means they're going to come back, and if they enjoy it, that means I want them to make sure they have perfect fun. So it's like working a restaurant, retail, gas station, or whatever other jobs out there that's not corporate executive. We all deal with customers on a daily basis and consumers. So the logical thing to do is to make games fun again. Make it to where everyone can be happy. Sony doesn't care about that. Sony just keeps thinking, oh, people will forget over time, the next generation will be all in full swing. You idiots, do you hear yourself right now? People are already making YouTubes. Heck, I honestly can't say anything to add on to this conversation that hasn't already been said, but I will say this. A wild prediction. When the PlayStation 6 comes out, I think it's not going to do well in sales. I don't know if it'll go, how far it's going to go in sales, but I imagine it's not going to do that well. And Sony's going to get annoyed and keep saying it's our fault because we did all this, we didn't support them. And I'm thinking, you literally just gave your customers the middle finger. What did you think was going to happen? Like, seriously, get a grip, Sony. And as they're continuing to fall and decline and wondering why people ain't visiting them anymore, Nintendo is going to thrive. Like, I see this now. Nintendo is literally going to thrive because they seem to understand that, hey, customers like to have options. We're going to still have physical games. You can still own you can have digital if you want, but we also have the physical if that's what your heart desires. So yeah, I do think more and more people are just going to go to Nintendo Switch 2 by 2028, and Sony's PS6 is just going to go down the toilet. They think that within a few months or maybe a year this will all blow over. It's not going to blow over. And not only that, but I hear Sony's facing lawsuits from a lot of people and companies, so Sony does not realize how messed up it is right now, or better yet, they do realize and they don't care, which means they're going to be a big downfall. People are angry, and rightfully so. And Sony, they're not going to see it until they've hit complete rock bottom. More PlayStation Plus subscriptions are being canceled every day. I can see it now. Like, you know what's sad? I think the Wolverine game is actually not going to sell well because people will probably not buy it out of spite just to protest Sony. Which, I can very realistically see that happening. And it'll continue on. We're going to 2028. And if Sony does not reverse their decision by then yeah, they're done. Honestly, even if they did reverse their decision now, it can't hurt for the fact that everyone felt betrayed, and they were betrayed, because that's the truth. So let me ask you this. Do you agree with Sony's practices? Do you think that an all-digital future is really the only course for everyone? Or do you think that they should take a page out of Nintendo's book and be like, okay, we'll give you options between physical and digital? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to know. This is Still Too Normal, signing off here, and thank you all very much.